Alright, good morning. I'm going to talk a little bit about tomorrow's raid. Just big reason is because it is a whole store raid, and they're bringing the limited hulls back into it. Some of them, not all of them. So, and what I want to do today, and the reason I'm talking about it, is I want you to think about the future. Uh, what you're currently building, what you have built, and what's next on your list or what's upcoming and what to start thinking about. Um, the so anyway, real quick, uh, going over a couple of the prizes, the main new prizes that are out, like this one, the Siege battery. There is three versions, 1, 2, and 3. Um, this is a good Siege battery 3 is a good prize in my opinion, and this is what I think it's great for. Um, it's to me, I believe you're going to find this be very effective when it comes to dredges. The new Forsaken mission weekly that's going to be changed here in the within. I'm assuming it's going to probably be within the next month. They're going to be changing our targets in the weekly. The drac bases are going to be changing. Uh, this also could be used in your monthly raid. Okay, what makes this undesirable, guys, is this: unless your your ship has 4 special slots, you're not going to use this. This becomes one of those blueprints that which fleet do I put it on, so forth and so on, as it becomes more specific. Will it help against your bases? You hitting bases? Yes. However, what are you going to give up to put this on? Uh, as things progress with this, and I'm sure at one point this will be in the retro lab. Uh, so this one, it is great. Again, it's going to be which fleet do I put it on? Where can I put it on? But for me right now, what I'm thinking is something that I know that I'm going to be hitting draft basis the weekly, uh, the dredges, with the turret defense of 40%. What that means for you is, let's say you have missile resistance of 70% or 60%, something to that nature. This will stack on top of it. Doesn't matter what resistance, radioactive, anything, any turret that gives any kind of damage. So missile, explosive, um, or radioactive, uh, or concussion, like say the Gargoyle or the um, oh hell, what the hell the name of the other one is? Anyway, so this also, think about it, is for people that used to have what they call rush fleets or blitz fleets. Uh, Again, something of that nature. It could be something maybe on that. So uh, keep this in the back of your mind. I know for me, it's going to be one of the top things I go after, since I'm looking for to build a fleet that I can really knock out all the new stuff that they're doing. Like I said, dredges and the new Forsaken mission and stuff. So it's going to become more of a, for me, maybe possibly a specific fleet type thing. Okay, next one obviously is the new turret. Um, it's nice. One of the things I want you to be aware of when you go to get this, it has to, based on the power consumption, you're going to need a level 5 turret. Okay, does a lot of damage. Uh, it's got supercharger already on it. I mean, this is a nice weapon. Look at all the reductions that it does to the fleet. Um, One thing to be mindful about this right here, it works great if you had say you had an enforcer that had the cryo launchers on it. This does stack with that, so it makes it help. Uh, does give a lot of damage as far as turrets. I will tell you right now, it's a 19-day build unless you have an officer. That's like 17 days. So the range isn't that great. It's like 131. So it's not that great of a range, but depending on how you build your um, your island, you could do this. So even if you don't want to put cryo launchers on your enforcers, if you stick a couple of these on turrets, have them in the right spot, you're looking at some pretty good. But again, like I said, level 5 turret. Okay, it is a whole story once you guys start thinking about really what you need. I mean, you got DS2 armor or D2S armors in here. You got, we already talked about the new weapons. All the limited holes that are going to be in here. They're not cheap. Uh, for anyone that wants the Phantom Nighthawk, that's 40 million. And if you don't have the Nighthawk, that's another 12 and a half. That's just for two. You need, So I think for me, and my thought is, I pretty much have a lot of this stuff that's already here. Um, you know, do I need the Harlocks? No. I mean, I have my fleet of Atlases. They do fine for me. I think the key on it is to get a blocker for it, a good one. So it could be the Grimshine, the Highlander. If you don't have it, it's another one of those fleet holes that give great just for resistance. If you're not understanding what I'm getting at is you have bare bones, you leave it outside of the fleet when you're hitting a base, and it adds another 50% of resistance. So it again, it all becomes fleet design, what you do with it. Um, so you really need to take a look at what you currently have built, what's you're building right now. So what do you really need? Um, and then also at the same time, you need to look at what's your next 1 to 2 builds. And I wouldn't necessarily go too far in advance as far as 1 or 2 builds. Maybe one, and that may be the one you're working on right now. And the reason why I say that is, starting in January, more holes are going to be coming out. So it could mean get 1 or 2 of these holes, get them built to help out your current fleets or what you're building right now, and then that way when the new holes start coming out next month, you can pick and choose which one you want and go for it. Another good one, if you don't have something in the range of like the Mercury or something, or depending on what you have, the V2C. I know you don't have the Frosty with it. It's not on here as far as limited, but the V2C and the V2H is on here. If you have it doesn't matter, whichever one you want. So one's going to be strictly for the cryo launcher, one's going to be for that Z missile. They're a long build time, but again, it's one of those fleets that if you built it, you can build it specifically for one punch and a dredge, doing your weeklies, so forth and so on. So really need you to think about what it is that you need or what you want to help what you have. And to go with that is this, like I stated, Forsaken Mission weeklies are going to change, the drac bases are going to change. Another thing that you have to look at right now as far as your holes is be able to do the dredges. That has got to become a priority on everyone's list, because we are getting at the point now, moving up into being high level players, that the bases are going to get much harder. You know it, you see it when you're designing your base and what you have available to build your base with. Um, you can see with everything else that they're doing, you're just going to need that uranium to improve your armor, your weapons, whatever your specials. So you want a fleet where you're possibly going to need to be hitting, you know, you can one hit a dredge and maybe do one or two a day uh, each time they come out. So, but really need you guys to take a look at your fleets, what you have, start thinking of the future, um, what you currently have built, and see what would work with it and what can go with it to withstand, make you viable for the next 6 months while you build another new fleet or so. Um, so I hope this helps. If you got any questions, uh, feel free to ask. If you want to go over what you have and what you think, again, you got myself or Justin or Angel. We can all talk about this to figure out what's best. Because God knows what else is going to change. I do have a question that I'm waiting on an answer from when it comes to the siege battery. Is the damage, like when the fire is left on the water, if you're getting some resistance towards that. I'm hoping that's a yes, because then that just increases uh, the defense against napalms and what's in the dredges. That's why I think the Siege Battery 3 is going to be a top priority for me. It's only 4 million. It's not bad. I don't mind if I build a fleet that can withstand just, knocking out the dredges and the weeklies and stuff. So these are some thoughts, some key things you're going to have to take a look at. All right, guys. Later. And have fun. Oh, one other thing. Sorry. I'm going to post on here after I upload this. I'm going to post on here the 47 that I showed. I hope everyone's watched the new video of the raid coming out. The Reavers fleets that are going to be on the world map. Not sure how much you're going to win, but I know the 47 world map target. I showed a video last time on how you can do it, get 100-something thousand, and take no damage, or be very minimum of damage. And you want to watch that because while you're repairing other fleets for hitting other targets, you're going to be getting some points. So just got to be able to utilize all the ways to get points, especially depending on how much you're trying to get. But the Reaver targets, I'm not sure if they're going to be in the actual campaigns or just on the world map. But that's something else you need to think about when you're looking at your builds. The Reavers are coming back, and I'm thinking in January you're going to see them just like you did with the fleet to fleet thing. You're going to see them fighting each other, so forth and so on. So, good luck, guys.